Do you feel sorry for Fergie? Get your calls in now. Let us know your thoughts. Prince Andrew is no longer going to be using his Duke of York title over his links with convicted offender Jeffrey Epstein.
The cracks in the York family's royal facade are no longer whispers behind palace walls. They're widening into full public view. Prince Andrew's reputation is in tatters, his royal titles suspended, and his once loyal ex-wife, Sarah Ferguson, is allegedly no longer standing firmly by his side. For decades, the Duke and Duchess of York, though divorced, presented themselves as a united front. They lived together at the Royal Lodge, raised their daughters together, and insisted their friendship was stronger than ever. But today, that illusion is fading fast. The first signs of fracture are clear. Reports suggest Fergie has been spending less and less time at Royal Lodge, the £30 million mansion she and Andrew have shared since 2003. The once inseparable pair now appear to be living entirely separate lives. Even their daughters, Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie, are quietly pulling away. For years they defended their father through scandal after scandal, refusing to believe the worst.
Well, this is what we do know about Prince Andrew and the businessman and convicted child offender Jeffrey Epstein. We know Prince Andrew got to know Jeffrey Epstein in 1999. We know that he saw him fairly regularly for some period after that.
But now, the emotional toll has become too heavy. Both women are said to have sought counselling to cope with the chaos surrounding their parents. And as new allegations and scandals resurface, even the most loyal family members seem to be questioning how far their support should go. Fergie, meanwhile, is preparing for her next act. The former Duchess, now officially stripped of her royal title, has always been a survivor. She's weathered humiliation, ridicule and disgrace more times than anyone in the royal circle. And yet, every single time, she's somehow managed to spin disaster into opportunity. Now, she's reportedly gearing up for what could be her biggest reinvention yet, another tell-all interview. Some are speculating she is ready to sit down yet again with none other than Oprah Winfrey. If that happens, it would mark her fourth appearance with the American talk show titan. The first came in 1996, after her divorce from Andrew, then again in 2010, after she was caught attempting to sell access to him for £500,000, and once more in 2011, when she was left off the guest list for William and Kate's wedding.
She was just an exceptional, it was the greatest honour of my life. And the last, I've really missed her badly in the recent months because she was there, you know what it was?
Each appearance painted her as misunderstood, emotional, and desperate for redemption.
This next one, however, could be different. This time she isn't just defending herself, she's rewriting her entire legacy. Fergie has reportedly told close friends she feels abandoned by the palace, claiming she was unfairly punished while others escaped scrutiny. She allegedly blames the men in grey suits, the powerful courtiers and advisors who dictate royal protocol, for freezing her out completely. And yet, this defiant streak is nothing new. Even after her divorce, Fergie continued calling herself Her Royal Highness, despite being forbidden from doing so. But beneath the bravado lies a more pressing question. Without her title, her royal home, or her husband's financial backing, how will Fergie maintain her lifestyle?
Is that it then, for Fergie, do you think? Is that the last that we will see of her, in public life at least?
Well, no, I think never say never with Fergie. She's a great survivor. She will quietly do things under the radar. I mean, there are plenty of people, particularly in places like China and the Middle East, who are quite happy to associate with her still.
Those who know her best describe her as a formidable operator. A woman who, when backed into a corner, always finds a way out. She's cultivated wealthy friends across the globe, particularly in the Middle East, where royal connections still hold enormous sway. In the past, those relationships have yielded lucrative consulting or introduction payments, arrangements that often raised eyebrows back home. But as the royal brand around her collapses, even those contacts may begin to drift away. And so the tell-all begins to look less like a confession and more like a financial strategy, a way to turn public curiosity into cash. If history is any guide, it will work. Fergie has long known that the public's fascination with her, part scandal, part sympathy, can be monetized.
The Duchess of York has been removed as a patron of a children's hospice following her email correspondence with the convicted paedophile Jeffrey Epstein. The charity Julia's House says it would be inappropriate for the Duchess to continue as patron of the charity.
She's been a children's author, a television host, a motivational speaker, a Weight Watchers ambassador, even a Netflix producer. Each new role arrived conveniently after a fresh scandal. Each time she fell, she sold the story of her redemption. And that, perhaps, is what makes this moment so dangerous for the royal family. Because a cornered Sarah Ferguson is unpredictable, and her story, if told freely, could drag more than just Andrew into the mud. Meanwhile, Andrew's world continues to shrink.
The Royal Lodge at Windsor, a sprawling 30-room estate that once symbolised his status, is now a looming liability. He paid a £1 million deposit to secure a long-term lease back in 2003 and spent millions refurbishing it.
Now, it means his ex-wife has also now lost her Duchess title and will revert to her maiden name, Sarah Ferguson. Now, we want to know if you feel sorry for her after this royal shake-up, or, considering that she's faced her own controversies over Epstein, do you have very little sympathy?
But with the king tightening royal budgets and distancing the crown from controversy, Andrew's days in the mansion may be numbered. Rumours suggest he could be moved to the Castle of May in northern Scotland, a bleak, windswept property once owned by the Queen Mother. The nearest village is 6 miles away. John O'Groats, the closest town, was once voted Scotland's most dismal. Fergie, however, has no intention of following him there. Those close to her say she's made that perfectly clear. The woman who once called herself the most loyal ex-wife in Britain is ready to draw a line. In truth, her loyalty has always been transactional. When Andrew provided stability, she defended him. When he fell from grace and lost his public role, she reinvented herself abroad. When she needed money, she used his connections.
A children's charity is distancing itself from Sarah Ferguson. After an email the Duchess of York sent to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein in 2011, calling him a, quote, supreme friend resurfaced, child hospice center Julia's House has issued a statement confirming they'll no longer be associating with the royal.
It's a relationship seemingly built on convenience rather than affection. Now, without his titles, money, or protection, Andrew may find that even Sarah Ferguson's loyalty has its limits. The fallout has also reached their daughters. Beatrice and Eugenie, now 37 and 35, have long struggled to define themselves outside their parents' shadow. They were raised in privilege, but without the same royal responsibilities as their cousins. For years, they balanced royal events with private careers and lives in London's elite social circles. But in the wake of their father's disgrace and their mother's ongoing controversies, both women are stepping back. Last Christmas was telling. While Andrew and Fergie spent the holidays alone at Royal Lodge, Beatrice joined King Charles, Queen Camilla, and Prince William's family at Sandringham. A quiet but powerful statement of allegiance. Even more striking was Eugenie's silence on social media. For years, she has shared heartfelt birthday messages for her mother. This year, nothing. Not a single post. Sources close to the family describe the relationship as strained. Eugenie, once fiercely loyal to both parents, is said to be exhausted by the constant scandals and desperate to protect her young family from the chaos.
Adding to the tension is a cloud of financial suspicion. A £25,000 payment, linked to one of Andrew's business associates, mysteriously landed in Eugenie's bank account. Though there's no suggestion of wrongdoing on her part, the optics were disastrous. Once again, the York name was connected to unexplained money. The sisters' future within the monarchy also looks uncertain.
Now, Lizzie, you're a friend of Sarah Ferguson. I believe you've contacted her this morning?
Yeah, I've reached out because I knew we were going to be talking about her today. I thought it was the right thing to do. And yes, look, I feel sorry for the victims of Epstein, obviously, and my thoughts are with them.
King Charles has made it clear that, despite their father's disgrace, both will retain their royal titles. But it's equally clear that neither will ever become full-time working royals. It's a cruel irony. For two women who, for all their missteps, have never been accused of the sins of their parents. Eugenie's charity, the Anti-Slavery Collective, has also drawn criticism for raising significant sums while reportedly distributing very little. Critics question whether its royal connections have been used more for image than impact. And yet, even amid this turmoil, one truth stands firm. Beatrice and Eugenie still love their parents. But love doesn't mean loyalty without limits. This Christmas will be the test. If they spend it with the wider royal family, the message will be unmistakable. The Yorks are officially divided. And that would be the ultimate humiliation for both Andrew and Fergie. A public rejection by their own children. As for Fergie herself, she's not done yet. Friends say she's planning to reclaim control of her narrative. That means media appearances, memoir deals, perhaps even a documentary. She's watched how figures like Meghan Markle and Harry have turned scandal into streaming gold, and she knows there's an audience for royal truth-telling, especially when it comes from an insider. The challenge, of course, is credibility. Fergie's reputation for embellishment precedes her, but that won't stop her. She'll frame herself as a woman betrayed by the establishment, misunderstood by the media, and abandoned by a family she spent decades defending. And whether the palace likes it or not, millions will tune in to listen. Because Sarah Ferguson has something no royal handler can control. A story only she can tell. Behind the polished palace walls, the Yorks have always been the rebels, the unpredictable branch of the royal family tree. They've mixed glamour with scandal, charm with controversy, and somehow always survived. But this time feels different. This time, the walls are closing in. Andrew's career is over. His reputation beyond repair. Fergie's title is gone, her finances unstable. Their daughters, grown and weary, are looking elsewhere for peace. What remains is a fractured family bound together not by duty or love, but by the shared wreckage of their royal past. And if Fergie steps back into the spotlight with a tell-all, one question looms. How much damage is she willing to cause to protect herself? Because for all her charm and resilience, Sarah Ferguson has always played by one rule. When the palace turns its back on you, you save yourself first. And this time, she might just take what's left of the York legacy with her. What do you think? What's next for Sarah Ferguson? Will she sit down in an exclusive interview, write a tell-all, or quietly disappear? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching.